Happy water cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news. Jeff Lewis Live, reality TV, which today is going to be, I don't know, a little true crime, little Martha Stewart documentary, little Thousand Pound Sisters, my girls, Tammy and Amy, my wackadoodle couples on 90 Day Fiance. Oh my gosh. Hello from Baked Pootie Cat, Deborah and Michael and Michelle. Hello, how are you? Shout out. I hope you have an amazing weekend. We've had quite a bit of not just rain, I mean, torrential thunderstorms, like just downpours out of the blue. But other than that, I guess we need rain, right? And I do have some fresh flowers to plant, although, or not for me to plant, for somebody to plant. And I don't know. I guess I don't really think about when the season is to plant stuff. I'm like, oh, anyways, if it dies, it dies. At least it'll give me some color for a little bit. Hello, Pina. Happy Monday, my little lovely chumpettes. I love that. Okay, let's get started because there's quite a bit going on. Some sad news. Quincy Jones passed. Well, I mean, sad news. He lived an amazing life for 91 years, and they didn't say how he passed away, but it did say that Quincy Jones was surrounded by his family and friends. So I'm assuming it was, at least expected a little bit. And I know I've seen a recent interview with him, Al Roker, who is the weather guy, obviously on the Today Show, but he's done a lot of interviews. Anyways, and he did an interview with Quincy Jones somewhat recently. So, he was alive and well and rocking until the end. So that's actually wonderful, but it's obviously sad. I can imagine the stories that he passed away with. I hope he gave all those stories to a lot of people because I'm sure he had so many stories about people. Teddy Mellencamp is filing for divorce. I don't know if she actually did already, but she announced it, I think Friday or Saturday. What's interesting though is she had just posted, like, not them just at an event, like all dressed up together, which is one thing. On her Instagram, she had posted a picture of them kissing, which, okay, it's not, I mean, you got to pose for that, right? Nobody's catching you. It wasn't a just random kiss. And then another one is her, like back bent over, like it's their, wedding night, and he's, dipping her, and there's a picture of them. I'm like, talk about going overboard when less than a week later, days later, you post this reflecting picture of you, like image. And then, as we know today, Justin said he had noticed the divorce bob, which I've never heard of a divorce bob, but I was just thinking of cutting a few inches off my hair like I did about a year and a half ago. Not a bob. And I was like, oh, I don't want to alarm anybody with a few inches cut off. I've never heard of a divorce bob. Heard of a revenge body, right? Didn't Khloe Kardashian have a TV show about that one time? And then God knows they've all had so many breakups. Anyways, so they are divorcing. Some people said they're surprised. I guess I don't follow either of them. I mean, she's been off the show for so long. I don't watch or listen to Two T's in a Pod. She and Tamara have somewhat come on Jeff Lewis Live a couple of times. They just had this big event this weekend, Two T's, what they call it? Two T's Pod Con or something like that. I forget what it was called. I don't know. Who cares? It was like a BravoCon, but Two T's in a Pod, a couple of other celebs. Her husband, Edwin, though, has been posting that he's gotten the best night's sleep in a long time. And he posted the results from, sorry, I'm deleting out of my apps. He had posted the best sleep that he's had in forever. So that seems like a little dig about that. And then another one where he was taking, I think three, they got 3 kids together. He had 1 or 2 from a previous marriage or relationship that they, she was a stepmom. 2 Twats Con. So 2 T's Con. Is that how you pronounce it, or Twats Con? I don't know how they pronounced it. Anyways, and taking the kids to church. So anyways, wish them well, obviously. Kind of, but who cares? Who cares, Teddy? Sold on SLC, sold on Salt Lake City. premieres in a month. I just kind of heard about this, and it's gonna be on Bravo, so I'm hoping it's good. I just caught a glimpse. I feel like there's a hair on my face. I just caught a glimpse of some of the people, and I'm excited to see if this show is worth it. Um, I feel like all the $1,000,000 listings are gonna be gone, though. Was their only $1,000,000 listing New York, which is gone, and then we're kinda getting ideas that $1,000,000 listing LA is maybe gonna be gone. I don't really know why. I think they're great shows. I think they're great shows. I don't know why they're going away. It kinda makes me mad. Um, Speaking of great, I watched the Martha Stewart documentary on Netflix. It just came out a couple of days ago. It's only like an hour and a half. She is interviewed almost throughout the whole thing. Other people that are interviewed is her one and only child, Alexis, who's a grown adult now, but she's not videoed. It's just her voice. But what made me want to watch it is that it came out that even though Martha Stewart was heavily involved in this documentary, like she's in it and all that, and I feel like I was figuring out that the director guy, feel like he was related, like maybe her daughter's husband or something. Director of Martha Stewart. Stewart. Um, it's a guy named RJ Cutler. Who is that? I feel like he's somebody. Who is RJ Cutler? I feel like he's somebody. I mean, I'm sure he's somebody. Oh, pissing off Martha Stewart was a bad move. As a whole, she has some major problems with the documentary, calling out the director, RJ Cutler, for his misuse of resources and leaning too heavily on easy headlines. He really used very little. It was just shocking. He removed fun stories that she shared and instead chose to put a major spotlight on her infamous 2004 trial, which revolved around her involvement in a stock trading scandal, and she went to jail for 5 months. So I thought it was so good. Andy Cohen and John Hill talked about it today. They both watched it over the weekend. They also thought it was good. Everyone that I've DM'd with have also said it gave a lot of insight to Martha Stewart. Like, how cutting edge she was for a female in the 60s and 70s, and her work ethic and her demands. I always feel like, yeah, she's probably and Andy Cohen kind of said the same thing. Look, he knows a couple of billionaires and he's had interactions with them professionally and personally. He goes, a lot of billionaires are kind of assholes. They're kind of dickheads. They're very stern. They're very like scary people. He's like, so she did this same behavior, and because she's a female, she's called a bitch. And yeah, other people are just called like billionaires. You know what I mean? That's one of the things Krista says, I love Martha Stewart's relationship with Snoop. They're so cute. That's another thing, is she wanted more of his music use, more rap music use, and he didn't. She thought he used some boring music. She thought he also kind of showed her in lights that didn't look well. I guess she had 3 different cameras on her, and she feels like he used the worst of the 3 cameras to make her not look as pretty as she is. So anyways, I thought it was so good. I think it's worth a watch. It really, I don't know. I mean, she's got a good relationship with her daughter. She tries to play it as if she had a really good relationship with her daughter. In all honesty, as busy as she was and the lifestyle that she had, I don't know how hands-on she could have been. I mean, you can't have it all. You can, but you can't. You know what I mean? Not to the status that she had, becoming a self-made billionaire and owning this huge company and Kmart and all the things. But when it all went to shit, that bitch just rose again. And one of the things she rose from, or one of the initial things, is her at the Justin Bieber roast. And she actually came out really funny and stuff. So anyways, Sherry says, RJ Cutler did the September issue, which was the real life Devil Wears Prada. I don't know what that means. Oh my gosh, Michael Riley in for the stuff. He went to Turkey Lake, I guess that's a place, and friends were her neighbors. Martha gave me a whole basket of jams. That sounds lovely. Anyways, yeah, Dolly Girl says, I love the documentary. I just thought it was so good, and it really gave me some insight into what a businesswoman she is. I mean, just even when she was in prison, she's like, "Oh yeah, my brand's going to shit because I'm not able to be behind it. Like I wasn't allowed to be the CEO of it." Thought it was so good. If you've got an hour and a half, watch it. I thought it was really, really, really good and inspiring as a female. I was like, wow, I'm 51. Like she's 82 or 83 years old. Like she was still in the thick of all the things in her early 50s. And I'm like, oh, wow, maybe I can actually do something with all of my dreams that I have. You know what I mean? Yes, it was only 2 hours, which was a bonus. We know how these usually get dragged out too long. Turkey Hill House is the name of it. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was so good. Hey everyone, how are you? Um, yes, Jet says, I thought Martha looked great in the documentary, like she's been to hell and back and prevailed. Yeah. I mean, I think she's cute. I think she dresses age appropriately. I think she's practical. I think she's um I feel like, and I'm not into crafts and I'm not, the best homemaker type, whatever. I never felt like she was hoity-toity. I felt like she taught practical things. One of the practical things I remember, she was one of the first to actually show how to properly, I still can't do it because I just wad my fitted sheets up literally. But how to properly fold a fitted sheet, like how to fold it inside out. I think she showed it on Oprah and I was like, "Oh, this is actually really." I didn't feel like she was like just showing how to do a fancy dinner party. I always felt like she was doing like fancy, but like yet practical, like using pine cones to make crafts and stuff. So I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Yes, or Jet says she's a legend. Wait, what? Jet says, did y'all see that Kelly, or you talking about Kelly Dodd, was mad today saying that Martha lied about not having any plastic surgery? I didn't notice any. I also didn't hear them talk about any plastic surgery. Like that wasn't discussed at all. Like, but who cares? She's 83. Like, who cares if she's had any plastic surgery? Like, she doesn't look like she has. I mean, she looks like she's maybe either puffy or she has like fillers put in to, like for wrinkles. But anyways, okay, let's chat 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. Season 7, episode 10. Niles and Matilda, I don't even know what to make of them. This is the couple where she is 23, lives in Ghana. Niles is from Alabama. He's got autism. They had a very big miscommunication about the fact that she thought they were getting married while on this trip. And he's like, no, we're not. Like, for several reasons, we're not. So they're trying to work that out, but I don't know. I feel like I like them on the show. I feel like they're a little too normal and they're trying to make things into a problem that's probably not really a problem. Like, I feel like it ended with the family being like, no, you can't have the knocking ceremony on this trip and then not get married and come back the next trip and get married. I feel like they don't give a shit if that happens, or if that's how they really feel and then now they don't trust Niles, then just have the knocking ceremony and the marriage at the next trip. Like, I feel like they're just dragging this on for whatever. You know what I mean? The looks on Matilda's family. I mean, yeah. And again, they're speaking a different language. It looks like the uncle speaks English. So he's kind of, relaying things back to the mom and the other siblings and stuff. So I don't know. Who I'm really concerned for is Vanya in Bozo. Bozo? I don't know how to print Bozo, whatever his name is. I'm going to call him Bozo because he's a dickhead for letting her come over for 3 weeks. She wants a wedding ring at the end. She wants an engagement ring. And he's like, look, I met you and instantly I felt like you were in the friend zone. And maybe over the next 3 weeks, that will change and we can see if it will. But at this point, I see you as a friend. God, she's in her early 40s, never been married, no kids. That's all she wants. Well, does she want kids? I don't even know if she's talked about that. I mean, I tell you, this whole side of my head is 90 Day Fiance people. The way I've got so many people in my brain, I don't even know. Oh, we are going to talk about Renee and Chitty. Yes, that bitch is nuts. Liz and the Bee says for sure. Krista says, Sarah's my only 90 Day source of info. I mean, People do talk about it. I mean, there are 90 Day Fiance accounts because y'all send them to me. So, I'm not the only one watching, but sometimes I do feel like I'm the only one that watches this damn show. So I have to talk to the few of y'all that do for sure. Wait, what? Ozark Sherry says, my son was on the Today Show speaking of Al Roker's Halloween costume show, but he got bitten by a shark last week. He's recovering here with us. Happy Monday. Oh my gosh. First of all, where was he in the waters with a shark? Like, because it's November. Um, wow, is he okay? I'm assuming. No offense, but did you let Jeff know? He'll be so proud that you have a son that got bitten by a shark and thankfully survived. He wouldn't be proud. He wouldn't want to know if, we wouldn't be, I'm not laughing about this. We wouldn't be making light of this as he was, obviously not with us. Yes, Lisa, Peanut the squirrel, RIP, and Fred the raccoon. Crazy. It sounds like they were going after them for other things. And then the guy got bit. Andy and John talked about this today. And then, I'm like, of course you got bit. You're not his owner. Like, you're taking him away. Freaking just awful. If someone came here to take my dog or my animal, maybe they would bite them too. I don't know. And then you check them for rabies and euthanize them. It's awful. Oh, they were filming porn with the animals? Ew, I hope not. That's illegal, right? Maybe is that why people complained? Oh, goodness. Who is Melody Ferris? Was found guilty of murdering her husband in Georgia, Marie says. I don't know. Will it be on Dateline? Okay. Back to 90 Day Fiance. Roy and Vea, I mean, they're the ones that need to just get back together. I mean, he's freaking amazing. He's cute. He understands all of Vea's quirks. He's willing to go out of the country with her, to travel with her. Sonny is aggressive. He's overreactive. He basically ended things immediately. But also what I don't like is he's already been super controlling and super jealous before she even gets there. So I think along with a lot of their problems, the differences in their religions, obviously where they live, all those things, I think she needed to just be like, F you, I'm going back with Roy. Like, he's the one. You got pregnant with him. Y'all had a miscarriage through all the stress that y'all were going through. I think you go forward with him and say, F you, Sonny. Like, you're a freaking loser. But no, they get back together and they have a talk on the balcony of her hotel. He spends the night with her. Whatever. Just get up and leave. Go have your vacation with Roy. Like, he's there hanging out with you. Yeah, you know what I mean? Porn with Peanut, question mark. Oh God. I can't. It's a freaking squirrel and a raccoon. Like, oh good Lord, I just can't. I think the animals were to guide. This is what John Hill said. The animals might have been used to get people's attention to lead them to OnlyFans. So I don't know, but I don't know. I don't think they were involved in all that. But anyways, who knows? Okay, Chitty and Renee. She's straight up insane. He better end things with her. And I'm thinking he's going to. So at this episode, she's gone like 2 or 3 days, just hanging out in her hotel, doing nothing. He finally says, let's meet. Let's go to the beach because it's peaceful and calm. She's just a teetotal biatch. Literally. She's like, just the things she says, like, oh, I won't touch you because I know that you don't want to be touched. I mean, just 5.5 years of this. They need to go their separate ways. She needs to realize all these relationship problems, it's a her problem. And instead, she's like, oh, you want to say because this guy started using drugs and I ended it, that it was my fault? And I'm like, you're so cruel. Maybe he started using drugs because of you. Like, you're nutso. And then she says, I've never apologized. I've never thought that I did anything wrong. I've never overreacted, like, ever in my life. Girl, yes. I used to say this about teachers that screamed at their students in the hallway. I would go, oh my God, how was that teacher in the classroom with the door shut? Liz and the Bee says, if Renee behaves that way on camera, I shudder to think of what that loon is like off camera. Yeah. And at this point, how long was she staying in that country with him? I don't remember how long her trip was, but she's over halfway through this trip. But it's not like a month. It's not like they've been together and they're bored of each other and they're whatever. It's crazy. Um, this is borderline like Michael and Angela type stuff. Like they better not. I don't want anything to do with this couple afterwards. I don't want to see her with another guy. I'd be okay seeing him with a girl or whoever in a good relationship, but I don't want to. I feel like she's using him because she has such self-admitted low self-confidence because of her body, that she likes that he has this, blindness, that he can't physically see her. Like, I feel like she has said, if he wasn't blind, I wouldn't want anything to do with him. I'm like, he's an amazing guy. Like, he loves his family. He loves himself. He respects himself. He loves Jesus. Like, what are you doing? It's crazy. Wait, what? Lisa says, I watched him on TikTok. I got kicked off of Instagram. Oh, you're talking about and I still don't understand why you got kicked off of TikTok, Instagram. You did nothing wrong. Are people getting kicked off of Instagram all of a sudden? I don't even know. I saw the interior of a mansion after an FBI raid and it was destroyed. I don't know what y'all talking about. Krista says. Yeah. Hey, May Boo, how are you? Hey, May Boo, are you in the Facebook group? The Sarah from Texas Facebook group? There's a couple of ladies in there in London specifically, but England, they're trying to get together for like a chumpette little meetup. So anyways, Adnan and Tiger Lily. So I just saw a clip recently because she was interviewed, maybe she was on a podcast or a clip or something. Somebody sent it to me or I stumbled across, I don't know which. She didn't say anything about having a baby or being pregnant. We know at real time on the show, this episode 10, they are try for a baby. But she's also having problems with him with the double standard of it all. It's not only a double standard in life. I mean, let's face it. Men wear shorts to a public bathing suit or a beach or a pool. Women do not. We cover our breasts. They do not, right? Men don't use their breast for babies. So are men's boobs sexual? Like, I guess they are. Like, I like a good set of good set of pecs, whatever they call them. Sherry says they are expecting. Okay, but they haven't had the baby because somebody just sent me a post from somebody, 90 Day Fiance or something, some account that said that he posted a picture of a baby, but I don't think he would I think it's a family picture. I think he's trying to throw people off. I don't know. I kind of don't want them to have a baby for obvious reasons, but I don't know. I just don't think they're going to work out long term. But of course they have a talk. She gets over it. I feel like she doesn't end up apologizing. I feel like the fight last night, he just didn't want to deal with it. He just wanted to bang her. And he's like, you know what? Look, we're not going to resolve this. I'm not going to admit it's wrong. Of me posting, shower shots of me coming out on social media. But, she shouldn't be so stunned. I mean, I am not married to a Muslim man, and yet I am well aware of the cultural and religious differences and expectations between men and women. And yet she all of a sudden is like, well, I'm going to change that. I'm like, you're not going to change it. He's 22 years old. He's got a lot of family and friends that are going to be very upset if he lets you do this stuff. And you're wanting to do this as if he's American, and he's not. Like, y'all have very different cultural, you know what I mean? Is it his baby picture? Sherry says Adnan posted first baby, check. Okay, so the baby's born? What's Adnan's? Okay. Oh, y'all got some rain. Let's think. Adnan. Okay. I'm surprised he only has 19,000 followers because I thought he was big before 90 Day, because 90 Day Fiance people follow everybody. Okay, I don't see a baby on the grid. Oh God, him posting getting on a private plane. Are you kidding me? Everything's about the wedding on the grid. Where's the
A lot of
baby
people,
picture? Okay.
a lot of
This just says Free Palestine. Is that his bait? Is the baby born? I don't know where.
a lot of people have
This is
a
the
lot of
video
people
I
have
saw.
thought that he had paid for it. He didn't pay it.
This is the clip
Paid
I
for
saw.
it. He planned everything.
It's about her saying that he paid and planned and everything for the wedding. So I haven't seen that they're pregnant or had a baby. I would think it would be all over if they did, like that she would be posting and all of that. I don't know. Maybe TLC doesn't want them to know. Okay, I did catch 2 episodes of Thousand Pound Sisters, episodes 2 and episodes 3. Oh, this family. I sort of like it because Amy and Tammy are both single now. Tammy is really feeling herself a lot more comfortable. She's moving around a lot more. She can ride in a car. She's been nicer, but not quite nice enough to her sister Amanda. And Amanda is recovering from knee surgery and is not having it. Like they went at it for sure. Now Amanda has basically kicked her out of her house. What I don't understand, this is season 6. Before this, they still have a YouTube channel. Like I don't think she has a job. Like she's not working as an accountant. She's not working at the library or the restaurant. But what do they spend their money on? 'Cause I feel like, she couldn't even afford to fix this window. I mean, I'm assuming that small window that her nephews broke at Amanda's house, maybe $300. Now that's a lot of money to most people to come up with, but she's on a TV show. Like, if you own a house and the window is broken and it's winter, you gotta replace it. I mean, you got Chris coming over putting up plastic and like as if they have no money. Are they in debt? Krista says they're likely eyeball deep in credit. Wait, who? Who? Um, Liz and the Bee says, "You just mad that you ain't pretty. The pretty sister no more." Snap, snap, snap. Yeah, what Tammy said about Amanda. I was like, "Oh, that's a lot of confidence, Tammy." Like crazy. Oh my goodness. Is the store Jamie still y'all are talking about something else. Okay, I don't know what that you're talking about. Anyways, I don't know. I just feel like it's a safety issue. It's you if you own a house, you got to be able to maintain it. But I'm just like their lifestyle at least with Mama June, their lifestyle changed. I mean, she went to drugs, but they bought this brand new house. You could tell that they had more money. They were taking family vacations. They've opened a business now. Pumpkin has a business, I think, with 2 of the sisters, but I'm not even sure what's going on there. I really haven't seen Pumpkin on TikTok much lately. But you can see that they weren't as poor as they were, and they were on TLC also, or were they on TLC or E? TLC, and now they're on the We channel or whatever that is. No, I just kind of want to think. I want them to still be their same people. Like I love that Chris still drives that old raggedy red minivan that get them everywhere. I love that if their car breaks down, they show it. I love that they're showing their houses. They don't have like brand new houses. But it seems like Chris is the only one that has a dang job. And I'm like, Amy can work now. Even if she's sitting at a desk, Amy can work. I don't really know what skills she has, but if she is her age and been on TV now for 6 seasons, probably doing cameos, hopefully making some money, I would like to see that she could afford a house in small town Kentucky. I mean, I can't imagine those houses are $800,000 or anything. Wait, what? Oh, Ozark Sherry says Google bathtub beach where the yellow house, he was attacked by a shark there, 95 stitches. They showed the house that he was attacked at. I mean, isn't y'all's beach house further off the beach? I'm so confused. Anyways, okay, I'll have to look at that first in a second. Okay, Chris is the best brother ever, though. I feel like he's always keeping his sisters in line. He's a great husband. He's getting the Christmas decorations out for his wife. I had to look up. I didn't realize. Um, so I don't know what he does. I think construction of some sort, but he's got a job, and then he bought the house next to him to use as a rental, and he was going to redo it. So since Amanda and Tammy are pissing it with each other right now, he is going to let Tammy move into there and live next to him. But I love that I did look up, and he and his wife got married in 2016. So I don't think they have any kids together. I think she had kids, he had kids, but they seem really happy. Like they seem the most normal. Like yesterday, there was the most pissy she's ever gotten. Her name is Brittany, and she definitely didn't get pissy, but she got she just kind of was wondering if it was a good thing to let Tammy move in next door and be their renter because, family and business and not letting that, go through. He buys them a gym membership or gets it donated. I have no idea how all that works, but he gets them a gym membership for all 5 of the siblings, trying to get everybody on track. The mom guilt. So I'm assuming this gym doesn't have daycare, which I think most gyms have daycares by now. I know mine actually closed down their daycare and they made it into more of a workout area. So my gym actually doesn't have a daycare anymore, but I don't need it for a long time. So it doesn't matter to me. But as a mom, I would pick a gym that had a daycare unless I was a working mom and my kids were in daycare. And then maybe I would just go after work if I could have it done in time to pick up the kids by 6:30, which I think is when most daycares close. Anyways, I would try to figure it out. Or they have these daycares where the kids go and they play and have fun anyways. But Amy is clearly going through it. She talks a lot about her mental health and the struggle of being a single mom and raising the boys and protecting herself. And she's just feeling guilty about going to the gym and spending that time. She's like, I need to be cleaning my house. I need to be taking care of my boys. So I don't want to be in there at the gym. So that caused a big fight with Tammy and Amy and Amanda when Amanda suggested that they have like this friendly competition to lose weight. That just kind of sent Amy over the edge. And then Tammy's protecting her. Then Tammy and Amanda get into a pissing contest. It was crazy. Oh, Lisa says, so she thinks she got kicked off Instagram for this, which I don't think you would. She says on Instagram, send me a screenshot of the thing where they said you got in trouble for this because you said you're going to be off your Instagram for like 180 days. So I never get a notice. I've had people get in trouble on Instagram, and I've gotten in trouble for like stories. If they don't tell me when they usually take away my Instagram live. On Instagram, I posted on Jeff's reel with Fortune Feimster's only penis story, touching it like a hot clarinet, and boom, I was gone. I thought she was hilarious. I don't know what happened. Okay, on episode 3 of 1,000-Pound Sisters, Tammy talks about moving away from Kentucky. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Amy is not inspiring me to cook. I do not know what inspired me to cook the chocolate chip banana bread today, but I was so happy because, girl, it tastes so good, and it made my house smell so good. I'm hoping it still smells good when my husband gets home soon. Yes, I do think so. Mama Judy says, seems like both Amy and Tammy might have some learning issues, so not sure they have the education or the ability to learn requirements for a job. But there's stuff they could do. Like, I wonder if they're on like a disability of some sort, either for their weight or other things. I don't know anything about them. Well, I know a lot about them, but I don't know any of that. So Amy apparently cooks and kind of comes up with her own ideas. So she goes to the grocery store, and the lady at the store, the look she was giving Amy was so hilarious because I would have been doing the same. She's making homemade shrimp Alfredo, but she's adding her own flavor with white chocolate chips for some reason. But she gives it to Amanda, and Amanda says it tastes really good. Amy starts crying. I mean, she's clearly going through it. She's clearly got other issues, deep-seated issues of just not feeling good enough. She feels like she's always treated like the baby, and the 3 big siblings are, more mature, more established, older. And I think especially with the divorce, she feels like now she's going through it. Tammy's been going through it. She's always been reliant on other people. And so Amy is just feeling so proud that her big sister Amanda is like complimenting on her cooking, which I thought was a really sweet moment because they don't really have sweet moments very much. Did I make chocolate chip cookies? Jordy says, how did your chocolate chip cookies turn out the other day? Did I make chocolate chip cookies? My daughter keeps making chocolate chip cookies. I don't know that I made chocolate chip cookies. It doesn't sound familiar. Oh, my Oreo truffles, do you mean? Oh, those were delicious. And they freeze well too. They're so good. Yes, it's a dough. It's cream cheese, Oreos. You mix it together and then you dip it in white chocolate and put sprinkles on it. So good. The chocolate chip banana bread was really good and it was so easy. So if I can make it, trust me, it's easy. Okay, that was it for that. Let's get into today's Jeff Lewis. Even though Michael Beck was just on literally the other day, he was really good with Justin Sylvester. So we'll chat about that in a second. Yes, I'm nailing you some now, Michael Riley. On the main, I gotta quit calling it the main show, the second show, but they are still kind of like pay attention to the next hour. It's still with two different sets of co-hosts, it is still feeling like kind of first hour, second hour-ish. Don't you feel like? Yeah, Mama Judy says, just hearing her talk about that white chocolate Alfredo made me sick to my stomach. I love Alfredo. Alfredo is very rich to begin with. It's cream, it's milk, I don't even know what's in it. Did you see the garlic she added? That was clearly for the TV because there's no way she could have added that much garlic and it tasted good. It was like 4 tablespoons of garlic. It was a crazy, crazy, crazy amount. Oh, the warthog died? Lisa, you just love animals so much. I love it. Oh, Michael Riley thinks there's too much Reza on right now. Yeah. Jet says, yeah, I've told y'all this. I think some of the co-hosts are on too often also. Jet says, yeah, Michael Beck is okay, but let's not have him on too much. Once a month, I'm good. Especially because nothing's going on. It's not like he's dating anyone. I mean, he can't talk about the projects, I don't think. Okay. Colton Underwood and Judge Lauren Lake, who had not been on in a while. I don't know if they've ever been on together. Again, I think Judge Lauren Lake can be on with anyone. I think she has wisdom, relatability. She's easygoing. She's opinionated. She lets other people talk. She gives enough personal stuff about it with her. I love it. I thought she was so good with Colton Underwood. Colton is a dreamboat. If he and his husband announce a divorce in the next 5 years, well, I guess 5 years along, in the next year, I'm going to be devastated because they sound like perfection. I mean, they've got money, they've got looks, they've got the new baby, they've got a night nurse, the baby is doing well, the baby's sleeping. I mean, they sound like they're making decisions together on the name and like all the things. It just, oh my gosh. Reza's mean to Oscar? Sarah Lee says. Has Reza been mean to Oscar? You know who's not mean to Oscar, and I sort of love it. So Radio Andy has been putting out these video clips, and sometimes they come up on my Instagram. On Halloween, John Hill on the John Hill Show was dressed up, and he had, oh shit, who's the guy he had on? Who did John Hill have on? It's the guy that's been on. Ooh, shit. Okay, let me see if I can find it. It's the guy that had been on Ryan O'Connor. Okay, Ryan O'Connor. Anyways, look.
I'd fuck that. I think the Babadook is non-binary. I'd Baba do it. I'd suck that Baba dick. Yes, you would. Yes, you would. Buffalo Bill, a DTF.
This is not the same one. The clip I saw, they were interviewing, they were chatting with Oscar, and they were talking about Oscar's costume. I thought it was really cute. Oh, Dolly Girl. I didn't remember that either. Dolly Girl says Jeff doesn't remember anything. Colton told Jeff the last time he's not sending his son to private school. But I don't think the baby was born yet then. And I think maybe you can change your mind also. You know what I mean? So he has no day help, which is kind of amazing. Kind of amazing because, I don't know really what Colton does for a job. I'm sure he does something, even just being on podcasts. He has his podcast. His husband works in politics, whatever he does, but he almost had to bring the baby to Jeff Lewis Live today because he thought his husband was going to have to go out of town. So I'm like, wow, the fact that y'all don't have like someone you can call, a family or a friend, so you can go to work or help. That was pretty hands-on, which I'm not saying because they're men. I'm saying that because they are working and they both have job where they're, where they have to, whatever. Who's your day? Well, but they work. I mean, I had day help and I didn't even work. I sure did. No. Dolly Girl says, who was your day help? I mean, because they work. Like if they were working parents, and they both are, I'm assuming, the baby would go to daycare like normal, but since they can work from home, they don't have any help. So I thought that was pretty impressive. Because it's hard a baby is unpredictable. You don't exactly know they're going to go down for a 3-hour nap. You don't exactly know they're going to be quiet during a Zoom or during a meeting or when you're writing something or taking phone calls, whatever their jobs end up being. So everything's going well for them. He's a baby. They're in love. The complete opposite of Jeff and Gage. So for months, for a while, very short, things were going really well with Gage and Jeff. They even took, I think, was it again this school year? I feel like Jeff and Gage and Monroe went out to dinner even for the school year starting, which was only a month or two ago. It is not going well now. Now he says that Gage might take him to emergency court to prevent Monroe from missing school next week when Jeff wants to take her to New York City. So apparently Monday is a holiday for, is Monday Columbus Day already? What is Monday? Not everybody's off because it's not a school day. Veterans Day, I'm sorry. Veterans Day, we already had what was Columbus Day. Veterans Day is Monday, November 11th, and I guess he's taking Monroe out of school for the next 4 days. I don't know what their agreement is. I don't know how that works. If, eventually, she's only in second grade now, but eventually, like some of us chatted about on the Sarah from Texas Facebook group, it is going to get harder and harder to take her out of school for 4 days if you can't get the work in advance. Now, as discussed, one of the things that kind of came out of the pandemic and with COVID and people getting sick for long periods of time and not wanting kids to get behind, because at one point they were telling you, even if you were around someone with COVID, you don't even know yet, you got to stay away for 10 days. So automatically you were out 8 to 10 days of school, right? Not counting weekends. So there is a lot of online stuff that they can do now, but she is in second grade. I mean, she is doing math and reading and writing. It's not like just playing with crayons and go into recess. I understand that they are going to disagree on things. I don't know if Gage is just disagreeing things at heart or if he's just being difficult and a power trip, as Jeff suggests. I do think it's only going to get harder for them. Like, I cannot imagine Jeff trying to take her out of school for 4 or 5 days when she's in 9th grade, 11th grade. Like, that's not going to go over with him well. At that age, I think she will be able to determine if she wants to go to things or not. I think 12 or 13, 14 is maybe an age where the kids can decide. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Mary E says Gage doesn't worry. All the attorney fees go to Jeff. But he said he's not. So Jeff agreed to pay the attorney fees because continuing to fight that was just costing him money. So he agreed to pay Gage the attorney fees, which stops as of December. That's the last time. But I don't think he's going to do that next time. He told Gage, I will fight you. I will fight you to the end on this. So I don't know. I guess this 2 hours that they each have to any day of the week. It's not just Wednesday. I guess they get So I guess they trade off on Monday after school because he said he has her Monday after school, maybe to Sunday. I don't know what their days are. Whatever it is, Gage, Monroe is going back to Gage, or is she going to Jeff? No, she must be going back to Gage because next week Jeff will have her. And he wants to take her to dinner or take her to play at his new house for like an hour, but he doesn't have the whole 2 hours to spend with her. And Gage is basically saying, well, you have to take that. I mean, I can't imagine that's if you take him for 20 minutes, like, is he just wanting that 2 hours away from her? Does he have plans himself to go do something? Like, is he just being a dickhead? Like, I don't understand. Somebody make it make sense. I don't know. Hey, Debbie. Oh yes, Lisa's getting to watch. So is it still up on YouTube? So YouTube is still showing it. So for all of you in London, it's still up on YouTube. Lisa's saying, I don't know. It's crazy, but he did say he spent $400,000 on attorney fees last week to get the 1 week off, and he's loving it. I just don't understand. Someone even said on the Facebook group, if he can't spend the whole 2 hours with her, and that is in the rules, only if it's in the rules, in the court documents, then he needs to just bring her back to the house and then let one of the nannies take her back home. But the thing is, he doesn't like a lot of people to drive her around. So maybe those couple of nannies that he does trust to drive her aren't available Wednesday night. Like, I don't know, but it just seems like in the best interest of the child, if the dad can spend 20 minutes, you would want them to do that. And why are you forcing the whole 2 hours when he actually has a work event that he actually can't do it? You know what I mean? I don't think he's ever going to get that. Somebody was DMing me about if he can just stop giving him money. But once he put him on the birth certificate at birth, that changed everything. And now she's 8. I mean, there's no going back at this point. Susan DG says, is that for Delta Gamma? My daughter's a Delta Zeta, but I just see DG. I'm wondering if that's Delta Gamma. Jeff should have gone for 100% custody and been done with Gage. They can't co-parent. Gage will never relent. I don't think Jeff would ever take Gage out of her life at this point, not 8 years into it. When they are getting along, Jeff does admit he's a good father, a good dad. When they're not getting along, that's a whole different story, and they're clearly not getting along. Mama Judy's a Delta Gamma. It's your married name initials. I love that. Okay. His colonoscopy went well. He does have another hemorrhoid. Not sure what's going on there, but he did say that Doug Budem was so good and very helpful to him, which is nice. Did he say if he had any polyps? Did he say how the actual colonoscopy went though? Like, all I remembered him talking about was the propofol, which, like I said, I've had 2 colonoscopies. I've never felt good or bad coming out or in. I've never like, oh, this is going to feel so good. Like, I don't remember any of it. So I don't know why these people love propofol or going under so much. Like Erin Foster was just raving about getting her, IVF stuff because of propofol. And I was like, I don't know. Yeah, he didn't say his results, did he though? Somebody call in tomorrow and ask him, how was your polyps? Because if you have polyps, they want to see you more often. If you don't have any polyps, I think it's now like 8 to 10 years, which for him would be 64. Can you believe in 10 years he'll be 64 years old? That's so weird. Okay, on the second hour was Justin Sylvester and Michael Beck. They were really good together. Justin pretty much has a lot of ties. I guess, he was the assistant or whatever to Kyle Richards. He knows their family. He knows a lot of people. So he says, yeah, I want to do this. So that app that they're doing, Jeff was talking about, they have a $10,000 dinner. So shout out whoever's going there. I don't know whoever it is. Nobody's reached out to me. So have fun if you're a chumpette. And they are going to do this app. What is the app? Fan Social, but it's still not up. Like, at one point they had announced an October 14th date. Then I think they realized they needed more legal stuff. They needed like more protection. Like, they needed a contract signed. You can do this, you can do that. We're not responsible if y'all go to the apartment, if you have sexy time, all that things. Yeah, he said he was cleaned out. Kay Bailey says he said he was clean, but did not mention the polyps or no polyps. He didn't say anything about that, which I thought you would want to tell us about that, right? Susan said, I've had my own divorce and custody. You can tell when someone just wants to win, regardless of the best interest of the child, right? And that's, I think, where Judge Lauren Lake comes in. And she's been through it herself. She now has a really good relationship with her and her ex, CJ's dad. But she also does this for a living, the paternity, she's an attorney. She knows all about that. Plus, at this stage in 2024, who doesn't know somebody personally who's been through a divorce or some sort of child custody things, right? Wait, what? Wait. I did hear something about this. Delia Diaz says, did you hear that MJ on Shenanigans, she was drunk in Malibu and that's the reason she didn't go to Universal. So she lied about a friend needing her. I know, but somebody said they don't know when that was recorded because maybe she wasn't talking about this weekend. Maybe they pre-recorded it. A lot of those bigger podcasts, they record and they put it out 2 and 3 days later because, so I don't know. I guess if they were talking about last weekend, I guess it could have been out for this weekend so far. I guess somebody's saying there's something going on between her and 2 podcasters and she told them different information about who she believed was right or wrong. I guess trying to be Switzerland with something. And then they eventually shared the information with each other. So they're mad at her now, maybe. I don't know. Jet, see, this is the reason I don't believe Jeff has a $20 million contract. If he got that kind of money, he wouldn't waste time with a $10,000 fan dinner. Yeah, I don't think he's making $20 million just for Radio Andy. I think that kind of news, I don't think he's making that kind of money. I don't think. But then again, if I did the math right, and he's spending $520,000 just on co-host, I mean, that's a lot. So I don't know. Justin wonders if Gage is still in love with Jeff. I don't think that's the case at all. I did love the caller that called in about Justin asking if there's any kind of a love connection between them. Justin didn't exactly say no. He just said, I don't want any baby mama drama. And I'm like, amen. Like, good for you for realizing that you do not want to be mixed up with Jeff and Gage and their kid drama. Like, no way. I do feel like Michael Beck tried to set them up. And I feel like everything on paper is good. Like the caller said, he's cute, the age, he's attractive, he's mature, he's in the business, he's got a job. Like, I think all that would be good, but I don't know. I also feel like even though he's only 37, I do feel like Jeff goes out a lot more than he wants to. And maybe he mentioned something about that. You know what I mean? Liz and the Bee says, did you catch MJ getting pissy about Joey screening calls? I want to do that. Why can't I do that? Yes. Yep, I did hear her say that. She's interesting. I did feel like Jeff said something about why is Michael Beck back already? I feel like he even thought, God, aren't you just here? Yes, he can. Bev says Jeff can write off those guests on his taxes. Yeah, he can definitely write that off, but that's still a lot of money to spend. Like, he's got to be, I mean, I don't know. I can't even think. If you're spending $2,000 a day on just your co-host, what are you making for 2 hours of time? Now, granted, there's pre-production. They go to dinners. They're interviewing people. They're having coffee before, they go to parties for content and stuff. But in general, it just say it's a flat 2 hours of work, They're not like having meetings every week, or maybe they are. I don't know. Jet says Gage is not in love with Jeff at all. He's desperate to keep finding ways how not to work and to use Monroe to live off of Jeff's money. If they would just get along, Jeff even says he would be so set up financially. Oh, thank you, Krista. Krista says, hey, friends, please hit the like button and help our girl out. Yes, thank you. Mabu says, MJ seems a people pleaser and isn't as real as she likes to portray, especially since she's been on the Traders. Yeah. Interesting. I liked when Jeff called out Sheena Shea's publicist for being one of the ones saying that Jeff Lewis Live wouldn't be good for her. I don't know why she hasn't been on. I actually thought Sheena was really good on the show, and I was impressed with her business. I I was shockingly impressed with Sheena's like having people around her and like cushioning herself. If you're doing that, then you're making money in order to cushion yourself. So I was like, hey man, something must be going on well for her for sure. Um Jeff did say at the very end that he gave Gage a lot of control during their relationship. Uh I just remember watching the very last once Monroe was born, that last season or two of Flipping Out, and it was just so stressful with Monroe crying a lot. They didn't seem to know how to help her. They're both new dads to only her. Jeff's trying to work and Gage was trying to work. And at one point, I think they should have just let Gage be a full-time dad, and maybe then things would have worked out well if Jeff would have kind of realized that being a full-time parent is a job, and it would have made things easier on them. And then maybe things would have worked out, but doesn't matter now. It's 8 years later since she was born. And, oh, wait, what? Jet says, did you notice that Joey's best friend, Eric, that he supposedly put on ice was on his story redoing Joey's? No, I did not. Did he tag him? Oh, goodness. He said he was absolutely not spending time with him. I did see that Joey's having his apartment painted, but I didn't see that he tagged, or I didn't even look who he tagged. If it's too small, I'm not paying attention to it. Anyways, we do have a couple of minutes left for open questions or shows or people. Mayboo says, but regardless of the money, Jeff loves meeting people, especially rich people. He likes life stories. Jeff is very much a people person. I mean, I feel like he can talk to a wall. He's really good at talking to people. And I feel he's one of those people, like he said yesterday, he was at a play date and then he had drinks with a guy. I mean, I think he likes to be always on the go and then have a little bit of downtime. But I think some of these celebrities are out in the public a lot and then they like to be at home a lot. I think Jeff really does enjoy being out a lot. Oh, that's a good question. When does everyone put up Christmas stuff? Mine's kind of a mix, because if we do a real tree, which has been like the last 10 or 15 years, we can't buy it too early because it'll dry out so much. But I also like it for it to be up as long as possible. I like for my lights to be up as possible, my decorations. Yeah, Mama Judy says colicky babies are tough. Like, I've had 5 babies and none have been colicky, so I can't imagine. Like, I always knew how to make my kids stop crying. Like, put the boob on their mouth or, hold them, rock them. I could always make my kids stop crying. Did you watch the Peacock documentary Anatomy of Lies about Elizabeth Finch? So good too. It's about the psycho writer on Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy, the TV show? No, I've heard of Anatomy of Lies, but I never knew what it was about. Oh, Michael Riley says, never trust Joey. Oh, goodness. Dolly girl, I don't trust Joey. Seems like a liar to me. A liar? Oh, I really don't think he's a liar. I don't want to think that. I think he's still learning a lot about himself. He didn't ask me anything, and someone said, do you take your own advice? He said, I'll admit that I don't. I'm getting better at it. So I don't know. Oh, really? Southern Belle says colic can be stopped most times with sound, such as a vacuum or hair dryer running, just FYI. Michael Riley says, I think he's a mess. Yeah, but you know what they say about psychiatrists and counselors and therapists? That a lot of them are the biggest messes. And I'm saying that knowing that there's a few on here. I'm looking at one right now, so I don't mean that. But that is kind of in general the what they say. So I think just because Joey is known for giving advice and pumping people up, I think he also says, I pump people up because I'm telling myself, hey, it'll be a better day. Things are brighter. Look at the sun. Look at the sunshine. Be positive. You know what I mean? So That's true. Candace says it's weird that people give advice and make money off of giving advice and they're a complete wreck. Exactly. Anyways, Dolly Girl says Joey's a mess and he's like 32 years old. When is he going to figure it out? Yeah. Oh, Delia says, I think Joey just babbles and says what people want to hear. Sorry. Anyways, well, thank you so much for joining live. It is always so much fun. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to me everywhere at Sarah from Texas Podcast. And please go to Sarah from Texas Podcast and give me a 5-star rating and review. I will see you tomorrow. Tonight is 90 Day Fiance the other way. I better get me a good update on my Statler and Dempsey. Like, I know they've broken up, but I want a really good update on them. I don't think they showed them at all last week. Anyways, okay, bye, Chumpets.